Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife, Karina from Venezuela. It's 3 minutes to 6 p.m. Central Time here in the Panhandle of Florida. Welcome aboard. Welcome to your K1 Visa, Green Card, Spousal Visa channel, where you get all this free information after you sat, you suck my brain of all this experience. I got 12 years, or almost 12 years, processing K1 visas and green cards successfully for folks that qualify for the benefit. If you don't qualify for the benefit, well, then I cannot help you. But if you qualify for the benefit, then I will gladly give you all this knowledge right here to get you through the process. Challenge your wallet with Aaron Lynn right there, first up the bat. Evening, everyone. What's going on? And how is Aaron Lynn? Good news on your end, right? You're doing really well with your application. Everything's moving along smoothly, which is good. We're very happy to hear that. It's Saturday, July 19th, 2025. Man, it's almost August. Where did 2025 go? Where does it go? Where's the time going? I've been on this channel. We've been doing this now for 5 years. Can you believe that? 5 years on YouTube. YouTube sent me a message saying, "You've been doing this for 5 years." I'm like, really? That long? Aaron Lynn, partner approved July 2nd, flew into Missouri July 11th. Wedding is July 31, which is right around the corner. So that's a Mountain Dew salute right there for Aaron Lynn. I've been amazing how success breeds success. Greg Ross. Greg Ross is my brother who just created a YouTube channel, and it's going viral. So if you are interested in watching movies, learning about movies, getting opinions about movies, then Greg, my brother, has a fantastic YouTube channel, and he's more than welcome to write the name of the YouTube channel down in the remarks here, if you're interested in movies and stuff like that. He made one video about Mission Impossible. We've got like 23,000 views in a day? That's excellent work, Greg. So Greg says, congratulations on 5 years of hard work to help all those couples all over the world keep on going. That's what we're doing. When we make a video, we don't get that. We don't have the number of folks watching as you do, because we're in a different kind of niche. Okay, this is a very confined, very small niche on YouTube. But you, Greg, are doing a great job with your channel. Go ahead, if you want to write in the name of your YouTube channel, write it in right here. Congratulations on 5 years, Aaron Lynn. Yeah, with 5 years, I started out as a cooking channel. I made recipes and made some pretty good videos, actually. Karina liked them. And then I turned it into like an Exploring Colombia channel, because I was living in Colombia with Karina, probably close to 3 years. And then in Villa de Leyva, Karina said, well, what about immigration and stuff, something like that. I said, okay. So we changed it into an immigration channel. So now it went from cooking to Exploring Colombia to immigration. K1 visas, specifically green cards for 2 years and 10-year applications, and spousal visas specifically. Don't ask me about student visas. Don't ask me about that, because I have got no freaking clue. I don't have work visas for folks who want to come here on a work permit. I know how to process the paperwork for a person that's use it as an interim while waiting for a green card. But I don't even go there. I focus this channel on getting people approved for K1 visas, which is USIS for my 129F, for 2-year green cards and 10-year green cards. 2-year green cards is the 485, and then the 751 for the 10-year green card. Christopher Harris. Now, Christopher is a member of this channel. Christopher is a member of this channel, so Christopher has my phone number and my email address. Now, my brother Greg, who posted on here, he already knows my phone number and email address, so he doesn't have to be a member at all. There's no reason for him to sign up as a member. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Dr. Pepper salute. Okay, well, you get a Dr. Pepper salute on your end, and I'll give you a Mountain Dew salute on this end. Okay. And I've got this office here, this YouTube studio, pretty much turned into an extraterrestrial home base. I don't think there's any space left on the walls for any other pictures for aliens and extraterrestrials. Even though this is the K1 Visa channel, this is also going to be, it is the J-Rod Files channel also. But up on the wall right here, I got a signed movie poster from Bob Lazar. You know, Bob Lazar was the guy that worked at S4 and was back engineering the propulsion system on a UFO. And we know how that went. Christopher Reese, my lady and stepson got their visa in their hand. Next stop is the CFO. That's correct. This is the Philippines. Then wait a little, then they'll be here. Right, you cannot do the CFO in the Philippines without first having the K1 visa in the passport. The Philippine government wants to see the CFO in your passport or in your beneficiary's passport. They won't schedule her, they won't help her with the CFO or your stepson until the K1 visa is in the passport. But they're almost here. Now remember, Christopher, when you get your family to the United States of America, whatever city you live in, my recommendation is this. Find a Phil-Am club where you live so that your wife and stepson can find some other Filipino friends so they don't feel quite like a fish out of water. Remember, they're coming from the Philippines to the United States. Two different countries. Both speak English. The Filipinos speak fantastic English and Tagalog, right? But you got to get them ready for life in America. Does your wife know how to drive a car? Your soon-to-be wife, your fiance, does she know how to drive a car? How old is your stepson? Your stepson is going to need an I-94, perhaps, to enroll in school now with the new administration. Make sure you get about 5 copies per person of the I-94. And Christopher Reese, when you file for the green card for your wife to be soon, you also have to file a green card application for your stepson. 2 separate green card applications, 2 485s, 2 864s. They both have to repeat the medical exam in the United States by a civil surgeon authorized by the State Department, which is Marco Rubio's neck of the woods. Okay? You're going to put together 2 fantastic green card applications for 2 people, your wife-to-be and your stepson. And then you're going to put those 2 packages together in one big, beautiful box and send it to immigration. Kevin Cameron. Now, Kevin's also a member of this channel, and we're fixing to help Kevin with your adjustment of status paperwork, right? I believe that's what you want me to do. Step by step, go over it with you. Good evening, Diego, and congratulations on 5 years. Yeah, I can't believe where the time went. 5 years. I mean, seriously. I don't know where it went. I'm looking at where'd it go. But never look back. You just look forward, right? O siempre mira este derecho, no este. Right? See? ¿Tú entiendes? Okay. Christopher Reese already did this. I remember you recommended this in the past. You're paying attention to class, Christopher. You learned a lot on this channel, right? Christopher, she can drive a car and stepson is 4. Your stepson is 4. Well, get him on a tractor. Teach him how to drive a tractor. He's on finger painting scholarship. Nah, get him driving a tractor. You can teach him how to drive a tractor or a pedal car. Get him a pedal car. Because one day you're going to wake up and he's going to be 15, 16, and he's going to be needing a driver's license. Kevin Cameron, this is great. Chris, my fiance will be here on the 28th. Now, Kevin, when you bring your fiance to the United States, okay, make sure you get 5 or 6 copies of the I-94. Make sure you make big blown up color copies of the K1 visas, the passports. If her birth certificate is in a foreign language, you got to get it translated into English. Okay, you got to start getting her. You got to get her a social security number. And then people ask me, well, how does a young lady change her last name to her husband's last name legally? Well, here's how you do it. When you get the marriage license, you're going to fill out the marriage license, right? Your fiance, her name will be with her maiden name on the marriage license and on the marriage certificate. It's going to be her maiden name. And lots of people are freaking out. They're messaging me in YouTube. Hey, the marriage license is in my wife's maiden name. What's up with that? Isn't it supposed to be her married name? No. The marriage license and the marriage certificate is going to be in the maiden name. And then when you file for the 2-year green card, on page 1 of USCIS Form I-485, the first question is, what is your current legal name? Well, when we filled out Karina's 2-year green card paperwork, Karina's current legal name is Karina Ross. So we put Karina, middle name Ross. And then they asked question 2, what other names have you used in the past? And she put in there Karina, middle name, maiden name. So then you fill out the paperwork, the I-485, you file for the 2-year green card, and then when you get the green card in your hand and or work permit, it's going to be with your wife's first name and the husband's last name. That's how you change your last name. If you are a female coming to this country and you want to take your husband's last name, that's how you do it. On page 1 of USCIS Form I-485. You don't have to be filing legal paperwork, getting an immigration attorney, help me change my name to my husband's last name. You don't have to do that. And some people do that. An immigration attorney, oh yeah, great, give me your money. I'll take the $6,000. And then the immigration attorney fills out page 1 of USCIS Form I-485. You can do that for freaking free. Do it yourself. If you need help with the paperwork, sign up as a member. You'll get my phone number and you get my email address. Although my brother, he's not a member, but he already has that information. So I don't have to worry about Greg. He can call me whenever he wants. Okay, I trust him with my information. But the only reason I created a membership was to protect the channel from those crazy hackers out there who would love to get a hold of my phone number and use it to try to hack the channel. There's a lot of bad people out there. So Christopher, your stepson is on finger painting, and you're going to get him you're going to teach him how to ride a riding lawnmower. That's what I'm talking about. Let me see. Christopher says congratulations, Kevin. Maru is online. Hello, Diego and Karina and everyone. What's going on, Maru? How's your family? Christopher Reese. So when we get married, they can't change her name? Not at the marriage? No, you do it with immigration. Didn't you just listen to me? Are you paying attention? I understand on the I-485, you put the current last name, which is my last name, and then other names, and then she puts a maiden name, and that's correct. That's how you change your wife's last name to your last name. The USCIS Form I-485 is a legal document that gets processed by Homeland Security, otherwise known as immigration. That's how you change your wife's last name to your last name. USCIS Form I-485 is how you do it. Page 1. It's a legal document. When you sign it, or when your wife signs it, and when you sign the 864, the 864 is a contract. The affidavit of support, USCIS Form 864, is a contract between the sponsor, the U.S. government, which means that you are saying when you sign USCIS Form 864, when you apply for the 2-year green card, you are telling the U.S. government, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, you are going to take care of your new husband or wife, and your new husband and wife is never going to be on, money from us taxpayers. Public charge is the word. Christopher Reese, my phone went to commercial. I missed some of what you were talking about. Christopher, USCIS Form I-485, which is filled out by the beneficiary, which you can help with if she doesn't understand English too well. Page 1 of USCIS Form I-485 is a legal, the form is a legal document that is processed by Homeland Security, which legally changes your wife's last name to yours. When we filled out USCIS Form I-485, Karina put Karina, middle name Ross. Her green card came in the mail, Karina, middle name Ross. And then she took that document, the green card with her married name on it. We went to the Social Security office and we updated her status to legal permanent resident. She got a brand new Social Security card in the mail, Karina, middle name Ross. Went to the driver's license place. Got her driver's license, a Florida driver's license. It says Karina, middle name Ross on her Florida driver's license. Everything is Karina Ross. The trash bill, the water bill, the sewer bill, whatever bills are out there, her name's on it with my name. Okay? That's how you change your beneficiary's last name. Legally, without paying somebody to do it. You do it for your free. Actually, it costs you $1,440 because that's how much it costs, right, to apply for a 2-year green card. And then if you want to throw in the work permit, then you got to throw in another $260 right? My recommendation is don't waste your money on the work permit. Just apply for the green card. Just apply for the green card. It unconfuses everything so much. And in my opinion, it probably speeds up the process because it's less stuff for immigration to do. Christopher, you got it. You've been practicing filling out the I-485. I know. I've been looking at it. You're sending it to me. I've been reviewing it. Francois Livingston. Francois is a member of this channel for a long time. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Francois, how are you doing? Now, remember, Francois, when you got Hammer doing stuff around the house in upstate New York, when he's doing renovations for you, helping you around the house, make sure you get pictures doing that together because you're going to use those pictures for the 10-year green card application in the future, in 2 years down the road. Christopher Reese, Karina, you want some of my bills? So Karina understands, but you keep the last name. Chris, that's pretty funny, Christopher. Francois, congratulations on 5 years. Well, thanks, Francois. I don't know where the time was gone. I didn't even know we'd been on this thing for 5 years. YouTube sent me a message. Hey, Diego, congratulations, 5 years on YouTube. I went, huh? It's been that long? Time goes by pretty quick. It won't be long before we're filing for Karina's 10-year green card and then U.S. citizenship. Let me see here. Bud Garcia. Hello, Diego and Karina. I hope you are doing well today. We're doing great, Bud. Excellent. Do you need help with your 2-year green card application, Bud Garcia? Have you got it under control, or do you need my help? Let me see. Francois, congratulations on 5 years. I don't know where it went, Francois. Demetrius Chapman, good evening, Diego and Karina. Interview was Thursday. Only asked my wife questions, got approved Friday, in and out about 10 minutes. Well, Demetrius, Mountain Dew salute. That means you put together a phenomenal 2-year green card application. And when you go for your 10-year green card, you got to have quadruple the evidence that you submitted for the 2-year green card. You submitted all this evidence for the 2-year green card, right? All this evidence, the I-94, the marriage certificate, the K-1 visa copy, and in color, your passport copies, biographic pages in color, photos of your wedding, your honeymoon, or everything that you did for your 2-year green card, you have to quadruple that for your 10-year green card interview. Because I've got probably no doubt you're gonna need an interview for your 10-year green card also, not just your 2-year. And then when you got your 10-year green card, you're done with interviews now. That's it. It's over. Then you focus on becoming a citizen of the United States of America, which is a constitutional republic, not a freaking democracy. A democracy is where, a real democracy is where the popular vote wins and controls the country. So if we didn't have an electoral college, if we weren't a republic, New York and California would be controlling the United States right now because they would have basically took the popular vote. But we're not that way. We're a republic. So is Colombia a republic? Okay, which means that even if you don't win the election, if you didn't get your person in there, if you're a Democrat and you didn't win, or if you're a Republican and you didn't win, whatever the case may be, you still have representation because we are a freaking republic. In a democracy, you don't get representation, okay, if you lose the election. It's winner takes all. It's like you're in the playground in the high school and everybody has a vote to take away your bike. Well, let's take away Joey's bike. Everybody raises their hand. Joey loses his bike. There's no representation for Joey. That's a democracy. We live in a republic. As a foreign national coming to this country, you got to know that, because you're going to watch the news. You're going to hear all these politicians say, "Oh, we're a democracy," but we're not. We're a constitutional republic. And then you hear these politicians say we are a constitutional democracy. No, communist Cuba is a constitutional democracy. The communists always win and winner takes all. The United States is not a democracy. It's not a constitutional democracy. It is a constitutional republic. And I recommend you Google some YouTube channels. You watch some YouTube shows on Google. The U.S. is a republic, and watch those videos and get educated, so you don't fall into this low IQ trap that these politicians are trying to pull you into. Let me see. Francois, why do I have a crown with a number 3 next to it? Well, here you have a crown with a number 1 next to it. So does Christopher Reese have a crown with a number 1 next to it, and now he's got a number 2 next to it. I don't know. Maybe you've been anointed, Francois. You have been anointed the queen of the members class today. Rooster, sending 50 pounds of paperwork for the interview will bring 150 pounds. So you submitted 50 pounds for the 2-year green card. You're going to submit 150 pounds for the 10-year green card. That's what I'm talking about right there. Bud Garcia, this is all done, just waiting for a response and an interview date. I check on an app and it's still being processed, okay? Francois, YouTube keeps cutting off. Well, I'm not cutting off. We're still here. Can you hear us? Is everybody here? Can you hear us? Hello, we're still here. Christopher Reese, I did what you suggested, Diego. I called around about recertification of the medical when they get here, and you are right. I'm never wrong, Christopher. I have never, ever been wrong on this channel, because if I'm wrong, that could cost somebody their green card or their K1 visa. So I cannot be wrong. There are 0 errors on this YouTube channel. So you said right here, you called around about recertifying the medical exam. It's mandatory. You found that out, right? You are right. Prices are all over the place. You shop around. You go into the USCIS website and type in civil surgeon and type in the city you live in, and you're going to get a list of civil surgeons where you live and how much. And then you call these numbers up and say, "Hey, I need a medical exam for a green card, for a 2-year green card. I need a medical exam for $693 filled out and signed. How much do you charge?" Get 3 prices. You'll get 3 different answers. Okay, but for Karina, the price here was less than her medical exam in Colombia. It was very inexpensive. But we live in a red state, right? A red state. You know what that is, right? A MAGA state. Everything's inexpensive, taxes are low, and it's easy to get stuff done here without government red tape. Francois Livingston, you're funny. Francois, you have been crowned again. Number 1. You got they're putting a crown on your head. It's YouTube. Rooster, for the medical, don't forget the polio vaccine is now required. The civil surgeon will tell you what vaccinations are required. And polio vaccine was required. It's always been required, I thought. I mean, who wants to get polio? Polio. Not polo. Polo's a game on a horse, right? Polio. Christopher Reese, how much was the medical in Colombia? Well, Karina's never been to Colombia, South Carolina. So and she's never got a medical exam in Columbia, South Carolina. Huh? She got her medical exam in Colombia, which is spelled like this. Let me spell Colombia for you so you don't get in trouble with the folks watching us in Colombia. Okay. That's how you spell Colombia. There's no U in Colombia. When you go to the airport, if you ever go to Colombia on vacation, when you land in Bogota, no, you're good, Christopher. You didn't know. You're walking through the airport, and you see all these bull caps that says it's Colombia, not Colombia. Did you know that Starbucks almost lost a franchise contract with the Colombian government to do business in Colombia because when the president or the marketing president of Starbucks wrote a letter to the marketing gurus in the Colombian government in Bogota and requested a franchise opening in Colombia, when the Starbucks marketing president wrote to the gurus in Colombia, he spelled Colombia with a U. And the Colombian government replied back to the Starbucks CFO or whoever and said, at the current time, we cannot approve your franchise in Colombia because you can't even spell the name of our country properly. I'm serious. This is true. Starbucks, they requested to open up franchises in Colombia, and they're all over Colombia now, but they almost lost the franchise because when they wrote to the government of Colombia, going through the process, they spelled Colombia with a U, and they almost didn't get approved. So never ever spell Colombia with a U. It's always with an O. Christopher Reese, medical is at St. Luke's Extension. It was close to $600 for K1 and close to $300 for K2. It was about the medical exam in Bogota, Colombia was $400 for this. It was about $600. It was $400 for the medical exam. It was about $100 for the X-ray, and then we got an extra vaccination. We were missing one vaccination. That was $25. It's about $600 for Karina's medical exam in Bogota, in cash. You have to pay cash. If you're in Colombia watching this and you have a beneficiary who's Colombian or Venezuelan or from Curacao, and you're getting to the point where you're going to schedule the medical exam, you have to pay in cash for the medical exam. You can put the chest X-ray on the credit card, and you can pay for vaccinations on the credit card, but everything else is paid for in efectivo. Bud Garcia, yes, I am Francois Livingston. How are you doing, Bud? What is going? Bud, are you at the point where have you filed for the 2-year green card yet? I'm going to give Bud Garcia a Mountain Dew because it seems like Bud is on this long extended green card application process. What is the status of your processing, Bud? And where's Larry Piercy? It's a Saturday night. Normally Larry's on here jiving and chatting and telling everybody how things are supposed to be. But that's because he was a Marine, and I like that. I like his attitude. And we get a catch up on what Mogi's doing. Now, Mogi's from Thailand. Okay. I helped Larry Piercy from the very beginning all the way to Mogi and her green card in her hand. I went over his I-120. I went over his original K1 visa application at Texas Roadhouse here in Florida. Obviously, he got through it. He got approved because Diego basically did it. And then I went over his green card application with Mogi, the 848. Everything was perfect. But then immigration lost their 864, so he just had to resubmit the 864. He went to the visa interview in Alabama, and now she has her green card. I did the whole thing for Larry. I went from A to Z. Everything for him. Alex Corral, can you shout out my sister Anita P? She's been following your content for so long. Keep it coming. Yeah, Alexis Coral. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Your sister is Anita P. So let's give Anita P. Where does she live? What city? Don't tell me what state does she live in or what country. Anita P. A Mountain Dew salute. She's been following our content for so long. This is the go-to place if you want to get your K1 visa and your green card, as long as you qualify for the benefit. Now you can watch. I'm not saying you shouldn't watch other YouTube channels. You should watch other YouTube channels about immigration if you want to verify what I'm doing, or if you want to, get a second opinion. I highly recommend it. But I've never made a mistake on this channel. That's why I got so many people getting approved, getting their green cards with minimal stress and minimal expense. So let me see. Bud Garcia, it is being reviewed. Okay, very good. It's being reviewed. That's right. And Bud, aren't you in Mississippi? Where are you at? Is it Mississippi? No. You're in. Aren't you in Washington State? You're in Washington State, right, Bud Garcia? I'm trying to remember where you're at. I'm seriously. Grandeur L. Greetings, Diego and Karina. My beneficiary's K1 visa case is in administrative processing. So you got an RFE. We submitted the missing documents and are waiting business days. Thank you both. Yeah, so you got no. I mean, if you miss something by accident, you're going to get an RFE, request for further evidence. What it means is you missed something. You forgot something. Immigration's not going to want to block you from getting your K1 visa. Yeah, Washington State, Bud Garcia, Washington State. My memory's pretty good, right? When you fill out your K1 visa application, or a green card application, if you forget something, you're going to get an RFE. If you make a stupid mistake, especially when you apply for the green card, let's suppose you apply for the green card, the 2-year green card, and you totally mess up the affidavit of support paperwork, the 864. You totally mess it up. There's a good chance your green card's going to get denied. They're being strict on the 864. Immigration is very, very, very strict on USCIS Form I-864. The income. If your income, if you are maybe on the borderline of the minimum income requirements of 125%, if you're like within 5% either way, if you're just right just over the borderline, get a joint sponsor. If you make $5,000 or $6,000 over the minimum income requirements, then you don't need to get a joint sponsor. But you want to be at least $5,000 or $6,000, $7,000 above the minimum income requirements to qualify. Okay. Let me see. Good job, Grandeur. Bud Garcia, I figured it was Washington State. Because if you lived in Florida, you'd be coming to Texas Roadhouse with us with Larry, I'm sure. James, I thought you were a member. What happened? Did you just, you're not a member anymore of the channel. What happened there? Hello, Diego and Karina. I have only visited my fiance once since we filed the K1 visa. When my fiance gets an email for her document review, I plan on flying to meet her and waiting for her to have her interview so I can come back with her. Is that okay? You should have made, listen. When you apply for a K1 visa, you want to meet and spend time with your fiance, at least being to see her or him at least twice. I was in Colombia 5 times and spent close to 3 years with Karina, and we rented an apartment together. Okay? You're asking me, is it going to be okay? How much time did you spend, James, how much time did you spend with your fiance when you went to visit her? Remind me of which country again. What country are we talking about? You said you spent a week with somebody. You flew to a foreign country. You flew to Nigeria and spent a week with somebody and decided you want to get married. How long have you been dating each other? How long have you known each other? How long have you known each other? Do you have a year and a half worth of WhatsApp chats or Yahoo Messenger chats? You don't fly to years, almost 3 years. So in 3 years, you've only been to Nigeria once and spent a week with her. Is that correct? Is that correct? In 3 years, you've been to Nigeria one time and spent a week with your fiance. Okay? Why haven't you made at least 3 trips once a year and spent a month with your fiance? In 3 years, you should have been to Nigeria 3 times. You should have spent at least a month each time you went. Tell your boss, wherever you work, maybe you're self-employed, say, look, I got to go see my fiance. I need a month off. Well, we're only going to pay you for 2 weeks out of the month. Okay, fine. But in 3 years, you should have spent 3 months with that person once a year. How are you going to justify to immigration that you should be given a K1 visa if you've only spent a week with somebody in 3 years? Immigration is going to ask you that question. That she's going to get the question at the embassy, at the U.S. embassy interview. Let's suppose you make it. Let's suppose you get to the K1 visa interview stage. They're going to ask your beneficiary, how long have you been dating? How long have you been with you? They ask Karina these questions. How long have you been in a relationship with Diego? She said, 3 years. How many times did Diego come visit you in Colombia? You said 4 times, but it was 5 times because I was actually here. I was actually in Colombia. So it was actually 5 times. And so he's in the computer writing, okay, they've been dating for 3 years. He's made 4 trips to Colombia. They've rented an apartment together. That's evidence of a relationship. But when your beneficiary goes to her visa interview in Nigeria, assuming you qualify, assuming you pass, assuming you get approved, they're going to ask her, how many times have you been, how long seen your American citizen sponsor? I saw him once in 3 years for a week. If you were an immigration officer, how would you respond to that? How would you respond? James, put yourself in the position of the consular officer. You're the consular officer, and you're asking somebody, how long have you known your American citizen sponsor? 3 years. How many times has he been to visit you in Nigeria? 1 time. How long did you spend together? 1 week. Would you approve that K1 visa? It's a question, right? You have been together 3 years, and you have got very insignificant amount of time with her. And immigration is going to question that. So, I mean, I don't know what else I can tell you. And you're asking me, is it okay? No, it's not. It's not okay. It's not okay. How can you possibly get to know somebody within a week of meeting, of being within 1 week? Do you know her favorite color, her favorite food, her favorite TV shows? Do you know anything about her regarding her favorite whatever? Have you met her mom and dad? Have you met her brothers and sisters? Do you have pictures together with her mom, dad, brothers and sisters, cousins, nephews, and nieces? Did you go on have you taken any vacations together? Well, you haven't, right? When I was in Colombia with Karina, we went on vacation to Cartagena, Colombia, which is on the Caribbean coast. We went to Cucuta, Colombia, which is on the border with Venezuela. We went to Villa de Leyva for a week, which is in central Colombia. We went to Chahuachi. We hiked the tallest waterfall in Colombia. We hiked it together. And I made a video about it. It's out here somewhere in this channel. We hiked together, and it almost not killed my butt. Let me tell you, I'm not a spring chicken, okay? But I did it, and we documented it. So we had 3 years of dating together, 3 years of living together almost. Now, I'm not saying you have to live with your beneficiary for 3 years. You don't have to. You don't have to qualify, okay? But if you've been dating someone for 3 years, you should have at least spent 3 months together out of those 3 years, at a minimum. So you're asking me the question, so can I come back with her? You can come back with her, yeah. If she passes the K1 visa interview at the embassy in Nigeria, you can bring her back to the United States. But looking on the outside, I'm putting myself in the shoes of the consular officer at the embassy, and I'm going to see that you've only spent a weekend together in 3 years. Why would I want to approve that K-1 visa? Me personally, I would not approve it. I would disapprove it. I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm not. I want to help you. But the only way I can help you is if you do the things that I tell you to do in order to qualify. Just making enough money isn't sufficient. You have to be in a relationship. You don't have a timeline of a relationship. You have a week's worth of pictures over 3 years. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. You need to get on a plane and fly to Nigeria and spend 2 or 3 weeks with your beneficiary, like in August, next month, or September. Okay? If you want to get this K-1 visa, you better be getting on a plane next month and go spend 2 or 3 weeks with her and get pictures with her family and her friends and her cousins and her neighbors and her pets. You got it? And that might just save the visa. You're paying attention, James, right? Listen to me. I'm giving you this advice to save you from being disappointed, okay? If you listen to me, if you get on a plane in August, next month, or September, and go spend 2 or 3 weeks with her and get pictures out the yin-yang, and you got boarding passes from the first trip and the second trip, and then you make a third trip to go bring her back to the United States, and then when your beneficiary goes in front of the consular officer and the immigration officer asks your beneficiary, how many times has James been to see you? She can say 3 times. First time was this time, second time was in September of 2025, and now this time is the 3rd time. And that will probably save your visa. But right now, with only 1 trip and 1 week together, I don't think you're going to get it. Shauna Napier. Hey, my interview's coming up soon. Well, let's put some MAGA pixie dust on Shauna right here. Shauna. James, you will remember the channel. What happened? Why did you quit the channel? Good luck to Shauna Napier. Bud Garcia. Some of us can't stay a month. The longest some can stay is 2 weeks. Bud Garcia, listen to me. James has spent 1 week in 3 years dating this person in Nigeria. As it stands right now, I don't see James getting a K-1 visa approved. If you can't make the time to be with your beneficiary, then don't go through the K-1 visa application. Don't do it. I mean, seriously. I was able to spend 3 years with Karina in Colombia because of my job. As a real estate person, I was a self-employed basically. Okay, so I was able to do it. But if you can only spend a week with somebody in 3 years, immigration's not going to approve that K-1, in my opinion. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but see what happens, right? Francois, to Bud Garcia, all is good. Green card interviews Tuesday. Right. More MAGA pixie dust for Francois and Hamid. Although I don't need to put MAGA pixie dust on Francois and Hamid because they're going to pass. He's going to get his green card. I mean, Karina knows the process, okay? Right? Karina's been through it. She's been through it with me. She was in Colombia for a year by herself, trying to, handle the separation. We didn't like being separated. It was terrible. So I just got a visa to live in Colombia for 12 months. I didn't use the whole visa because I got stuff to do in America, like pay taxes and stuff like that. Bud Garcia, congratulations on your interview, Francois. Very good. Jai Reese, I did 3 months in Morocco before I submitted my K-1 visa. Jai Reese, now you're talking. 3 months is a good amount of time to get to know somebody.
Good job. But Jairus, you need to go back to Morocco and repeat what you just did. One more time. Bud Garcia, I understand that and don't either, but all we can do is hope and pray. Here's the thing. When you submit a K-1 visa application, the first thing immigration is going to look at is the timeline of your relationship. If James only spent a week in Nigeria with his beneficiary, was that enough time for having an engagement party? Was that enough time to meet the family? Was that enough time to take a vacation somewhere together? It's not sufficient amount of time. Corinne and I dated 3 years. When we got engaged, we'd been together over a year. And then we had an engagement party at our apartment in Bogota on December 24th of 2021. We had all our family over, brothers, nephews, sisters-in-law, because on December 24th, everybody's off of work because it's Christmas Eve. So and you never, ever, ever have an engagement party in cultural clothes. If you're from Africa, from Indonesia, from Morocco, some of these countries, India, they have beautiful engagement parties and ceremonies in beautiful cultural clothes. Beautiful clothes. But you don't want to include those pictures in your K-1 visa application as an engagement because immigration might misconstrue it as you got married. Immigration is going to look at this beautiful Indian wedding or this beautiful Pakistani wedding in all these cultural clothes, and immigration says, hey, they got married. And now they're applying for a K-1. But you didn't. You just had a beautiful engagement party. When you have an engagement party, you do it in street clothes. We had an engagement party in Bogota, in our apartment, in our regular clothes. And we got pictures with everybody, all her family. And then have your engagement party in your cultural clothes if you want to. I recommend you do it. Okay? But you don't put those pictures in your K-1 visa application because immigration will think that you got married. When you go to your K-1 visa interview, don't wear your engagement ring or don't wear any jewelry. Take it off. Yeah, especially in Morocco, Ghana, it's countries like Ghana, Morocco, Indonesia. You go to your K-1 visa interview with an engagement ring on your finger. The consular officer say, oh, did you get married? No, it's an engagement ring. Okay, do you have the receipt where it says it's an engagement ring? Can you prove it? No, I don't have my receipt. My sponsor has it. Oh, so you can't prove. This happened to somebody in Ghana. They went to their K-1 visa interview in Ghana with an engagement ring, and their K-1 visa got denied because they thought they got married. So they had to reopen the case. I explained to them how to do it. I helped them reopen the case, and it still hasn't made any progress. They're still treading water. Have an engagement party in street clothes. Take lots of pictures and put it in your K-1 visa application. Have an engagement party in your cultural clothes and keep those pictures private. Don't wear an engagement ring to your visa interview so you don't give the immigration officer a question. Are you married? If you listen to me, pay attention, you're going to go through this whole process smooth as silk. Bud Garcia, what should have happened is go one time for 2 weeks a year. If you get 1 month, if you only get 2 weeks of vacation a year, you get 2 weeks vacation a year. Both of those 2 weeks need to be spent with your beneficiary. Split up over the year. So you want to go for Christmas and you want to go, let's say, for her birthday. So you got 2 trips, 1 week each. And you date each other like James for 3 years. So James should have at least a minimum of 3 to 4 trips to Morocco. Or was it Nigeria? Excuse me. So James should have at least 4 trips to Nigeria, spaced out over 3 years, because it shows a timeline of a relationship. Sitting behind a computer, chatting away, isn't going to help build a relationship timeline. But it's important to have those chat logs, okay? But it's also important to spend time with your beneficiary. Jai Reese, yes, this will be the third time going and staying for 3 months. I'm going back this month. Well, Jai Reese, you're going to get another Mountain Dew salute because you are on top of this. And James went quiet on me because I broke the news to him. This is the channel where you get the real deal, okay? I tell you how it is. If you want to get your K1 visa, James, you're going to have to get on a freaking plane in September and spend 2 weeks with your beneficiary in Nigeria. I don't care what you got to do, but that's what you got to do. Bud Garcia, James, Diego is trying to help you to get your K1 visa approved. I am. I don't want James to lose his K1 visa, but right now, I don't see it happening. There is no way on planet Earth would I marry someone I'd only met one time for a week. There's no way. I went to visit. We chatted for 5 months, okay, in WhatsApp. Then I took a 2-week vacation to Colombia to spend time with Karina. But I ended up staying 5 weeks or something like that. I just changed my plane ticket and stayed for 5 weeks. I called my boss. Said, hey man, I'm in Colombia. I'm having a great time. I'm not coming back for a bit. Okay, no worries. Then I came back to America. I had all the boarding passes, the hotel receipts, the dinner date receipts. So 5 weeks of hanging out with Karina. And then I put my name on the apartment in Bogota. So I had rent receipts in Bogota. Dinner date receipts. We go to eat at a restaurant, a steakhouse somewhere. I use my credit card, and then when I get my credit card statement at the end of the month, it shows all these places that I've been in Colombia with Karina. That went in the K1 visa application. James, do you have any credit card dinner dates? Do you have any evidence of dinner dates with your beneficiary in Nigeria for the week that you were there? What evidence do you have that you did anything with her regarding going out? Did you take a vacation with her? I came back to the United States, and then I went back to Colombia. I think it was a few months later, and stayed for 5 months? I think it was, 6 months. We wanted to make sure this was good, but we knew already when we met each other at the airport in Bogota. We already knew we were going to be married. We just knew it was the right connection. We like everything we do. We like about what we do. History, cooking. I don't know if Karina believes in aliens. I don't think she is that excited about extraterrestrials as I am. But we like history. We like traveling. We like cooking. We like learning new things. We like, conservative politics, right? We're religious. On the religious part of it, we're all singing the same tune. Okay. This isn't a religious channel. It's not a political channel, but we're all on the same shit of music. Karina and I, politically, religious, doing stuff together, etc. You gotta know it, and we know everything about each other. I mean, there is not one thing Karina doesn't know about me, the surgeries I've had on my body, where I've lived in the United States, where I've lived in the world with the military. She knows where my dad lives, what his name is. She knows that my mom passed away. She knows Karina and I went to my mom where she's with my brother when she passed away, right? Went to my stepdad's grave and laid an American flag on his. I mean, we know everything about each other. James, what do you know about your beneficiary? What's her mom's name? Does she have any brothers and sisters? What's her intention? I'm just trying to save you from a massive letdown. Let me see. Grandeur L. So administrative processing is a continuation of the waiting game. That's correct. It's stated that most cases take about 60 days. Maybe 30 to 45 days, depending on what the error was on the application. When you send in a K1 visa application or If you make a mistake on the paperwork, you'll get an RFE. Administrative processing could take a couple of months. When you submit for the 2-year green card, you cannot make a mistake on the affidavit of support, the USCIS form I-864. You cannot make a mistake on that form. The 864 has to be 100% correct. No messing up the family size, no messing up the income. Don't forget to include your last tax return with the paperwork, your W-2s, 1099s, pay stubs, 6 months worth, bank statements, 12 months worth. Immigration want to see how much money do you make, Mr. American Citizen Sponsor, Miss American Citizen Sponsor. What is your income? Are you going to be able to support your beneficiary from the Philippines or from wherever? James, thank you very much, Diego. Listen, James, pay attention to me now, right? Listen to me right now. And re-sign up as a member. Don't be El Cheapo. Sign back up as a member so that you can call me and text me so I can help you. Okay? Don't be bailing out on me as a member because I want to help you get your K1 visa. But you have to get on a plane next month or in September, October at the latest, and go see your beneficiary and spend at least 2 weeks with her in Nigeria and learn everything about her and her family that you probably don't know about her. You got to pay attention to me, James. If you listen to me, if you reach into your wallet, pull out your credit card, and go on to Expedia.com and book a freaking plane ticket round trip to Nigeria for 2 weeks for October, let's say the latest, I probably will be saving your green card, your K1 visa from a denial. But when your beneficiary goes to her K1 visa interview in Lagos, Nigeria, the question they're going to ask her is, how many times has James been to visit with you in Nigeria? And if she says 1 time in 3 freaking years, she is not going to get her K1 visa, my opinion. But I'm going to save you from that denial if you do what I tell you. Alvin Soriano. Alvin, how long is the process for a K1? Well, it depends on what country your beneficiary lives in. Some embassies and consulates process K1 visas quicker than others. Some countries have been banned from processing K1 visas. It all depends on the country, but it's about 6 to 7 months for the NOA1 to NOA2 letter. It's about 3 months to the MVC, so I say 9, 10 months. And then you got 3 to 6 months to get the visa interview scheduled. So let's say around 12, 13, 14 months, somewhere in there. But it depends on the country. Bud Garcia, Alvin Soriano, is what country, where are you from? That sounds like is that an Italian name? Bud Garcia, not a problem, Diego. Just trying to help you. He is not trying to be rude to you. No, he's not. He's not a rude person. He's trying to help. So please take his advice. I'm not a rude person. I'm just putting my freaking senior chief hat on. When I was in the military, I put on my senior chief hat and I say, this is the way it's going to be. There's no option 2 if you want to get the K1 visa. If you listen to me, you get it. Alvin, I'm from the Philippines. Okay, Soriano, so it's a Spanish name, Italian name, but so you're from the Philippines. So I should say Kumusta ka, right? You understand what I said, right? When I say Kumusta ka. Okay, guys, I've been talking for an hour. James, you need to sign up as a freaking member. Don't be El Cheapo. You got my phone number. You got my email address. I can help you through this and I'm going to help you get this done. Okay, you're going to need my help, dude. You're going to need my help. We're going to go and relax. Maybe we'll watch them. I don't watch movies. Karina likes to watch movies. I like to learn stuff. I don't know what I'm learning today. I learned how to epoxy a garage floor. The piece of the garage. I'm going to redo the garage floor myself. Well, Karina's going to help me. And that's what I learned to do today. Listen up, guys. I want to help you get your K1s and your green cards. You can do it if you qualify for the benefit. You have to establish a relationship with the beneficiary. Okay, you have to establish a relationship with your beneficiary. If you don't have a relationship established over a timeline of at least a year, it's going to be hard to get a K1, especially right now. Bud Garcia, have a good night. God bless everyone. And Francois, you have now a crown back right here. It's like number 2. Good night. Talk to you all Monday. See you Monday night.